in a call center is so easy. You just have to know how to speak English. Nope, definitely not. Hi there Ninja, welcome back to my channel. This is Rhea once again and you're still watching Call Center Ninja. I share real stories and tips to begin, enjoy, and survive your call center lifestyle. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Just click the red subscribe button down below and don't forget to tap the bell for notifications. So as I've mentioned, in this video, we're going to talk about call handling tips. Now, although I mentioned that this is for customer service, a lot of these tips can also be applied to other industries. But I'm just going to focus on customer service because this is what I have personally experienced. I just want to tell you something. Maybe a lot of people will say that working in a call center is easy because you just need to speak English. Well, not. Because even if you have the best English in town, but if you don't know how to handle a call or you do not follow the procedures and you do not even know how to begin your call, then you will have a hard time when taking calls. Also, if it's really easy to work in a call center, then probably call centers will not be hiring anymore because people will just stay and they won't have any problem. But that's not actually what's happening. Call centers and a lot of call centers are always hiring because the truth is call center agents come and go. In this video, I'm also going to share a few customer service examples, but I just want to stress that these examples are common examples, but are not necessarily applicable to you if you are already taking calls. What I mean is that these examples may not exist in your account. So I would always say that you always have to follow first what your account, your trainer will teach you. This is just the basic or the standard call handling tips and techniques that I am going to share with you. And I believe these are very, very helpful. So enough of that, let's start. Tip number 1 is to get your basics straight. Of course, you have to start strong. And by strong, I don't actually mean like that strong. What I mean is that you have to start with impact because you don't always make a good first impression. And remember that when you are speaking with your customer, you are representing your company, you're representing your client. So if I receive the call and my name is Rhea, I am not just Rhea, I am also representing Call Center Ninja, for example. So if you are taking calls and you're representing Bank of ABC, then you are representing the entire bank. So it's very important to get your basics straight. So what do you need to do to get the basics straight? You will have to follow what your company or client requires from you when it comes to opening the call and greeting your customer at the beginning of the call. You have to introduce yourself. It depends if you need to introduce your first name and your last name or just your first name. Some companies and accounts also have nicknames for their agents, so it really depends. And then you have to address your customer by their name. I think that this is being followed by a lot of accounts, or most accounts actually, because there is always there's always that good impression if you address the customer by name. So it depends again on your company if they want you to address the customer using the first name, or you have to use Mr. or Miss. So you have to also take note of that. Remember that this is not a face-to-face interaction. So it is all the more important to make a good first impression. And do not forget to smile and be upbeat, be lively, be energetic, but you have to tone it down in a way that you don't scare your customer because you're overly energetic or you're overly upbeat. So, just enough energy, because you need that energy to last the entire day. You wouldn't want to lose that energy on your fifth call, because I've seen so many agents who keep their energy at a very high level at the beginning of the call and then lose all the energy they get or they have in the middle of the shift, which is not a good start of your day. So I'm going to give you an example. For example, I am the representative and I have a customer on the line, and just pretend that I have a headset on me. Welcome to Yes Ninja. My name is Tinkerbell and I'm happy to help. May I have your name?
Katy Perry.
Hi, Miss Perry. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm a little frustrated.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let me help you. How can I assist you with your concerns today? Tip number 2 is to consider feelings first before facts. Remember that you are speaking with a human being. You're not speaking with a robot. And although you mean business, you still have to put your customer as the center or at the center of the conversation. I'm sure that at one point in your life, you were also a customer. Perhaps you're a customer every day of your life. So put yourself on the customer's shoes. If you are the customer, how will you feel? And always remember AER. That's REA, Rhea. That's the spelling of my name. So AER. You have to start with acknowledgement, and then empathy, and then reassurance. And it's also important that when you provide acknowledgement, empathy, and reassurance, you are timely with your responses, because nobody wants to respond or to hear a response after 2 minutes of saying the concern. Say if the customer says, I was just laid off from my job, and then it's taking you 5 minutes to respond. Of course, I'm exaggerating. Well, let's just say it's taking you a few seconds to respond. Then it's not a good impression. Your responses should be timely. Note the difference between empathy and apology. You empathize when you are not at fault, but you feel for the customer. You are trying to put yourself in the customer's shoes and understand how she might be feeling, even though you haven't necessarily experienced yet what she has gone through. You apologize when you or the company is at fault, or when your customer's concern is a direct result of the company's policy or procedure, or when you yourself caused the mistake. Therefore, you are taking accountability over it.
I'm calling because my flight got canceled earlier, so I'm just letting you know that I'm unable to check into your hotel today.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that your flight got canceled, Miss Perry. Rest assured that I'll take care of your booking concerns right away. Just give me 2 to 3 minutes to process it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't want to call you for this. I tried adjusting my bookings online.
Yes, Miss Perry, I do apologize for that. As of the moment, our website is undergoing maintenance to serve you better. Don't worry though, I'll be here to resolve your booking concerns right away. Tip number 3 is ask relevant questions. Asking the right and relevant questions can definitely help you largely in resolving the customer's concern. You can use a mix of open-ended and closed-ended questions. So what are open-ended and closed-ended questions? Open-ended questions are questions that allow your customer to elaborate and explain further. You can get as much information as you need depending on the questions you ask. You can use these questions when you want to know more about the issue or concern. Closed-ended questions are questions that allow your customer to give direct to the point answers. It's often referred to as the yes or no questions or answers, but it's not only limited to those answers. You can use these questions to clarify a point when you don't need an explanation. Miss Perry, I just need to write a couple of things for documentation here. May I know why your flight was canceled?
It was quite confusing because at first it was announced that the weather was not good, but then after that, they said the aircraft we're supposed to use needed maintenance.
Miss Perry, are you still going to book our premiere room?
Yes.
And for what dates?
9 to 14?
So except for the dates, do you want to retain all the other booking details?
Yes, please.
Tip number 4 is be direct and concise. So, you would want to respect your customer's time as much as you'd want your time to be respected. So what do you need to do here? You have to avoid unnecessary chit-chats that can make the call even longer than usual. And you have to also make sure that you get to the root cause of the issue super soon as possible. Now, when customers call, they usually have what we call the stated need and the implied need. I'd also like to take a look at it that way. There are customers who have stated needs, meaning when they call, they're very vocal about it and they tell you right away what they need. So you as a representative or as an agent already know and already have an idea of what to do and how to help the customer. Whereas if your customer has an implied need, your customer does not really tell you exactly what he or she wants you to do or wants you to accomplish. That customer will just let you resolve the issue on your own based on the information that you will get from him or her. The implied need is much harder in a way that you really have to ask relevant questions, as I mentioned on the previous tip. But in this case, it's also possible that that customer simply just does not know what to do or how to go about the situation. And that customer most likely trusts you to know what to do.
I'm calling because my flight got canceled earlier, so I'm just letting you know that I'm unable to check into your hotel today.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that your flight got canceled, Miss Perry. Rest assured that I'll take care of your booking concerns right away. Just give me 2 to 3 minutes to process it.
My flight got canceled and I'm really frustrated because I cannot check into your hotel today. I'm just wasting money here.
Wow, that's really something, huh? I've been in that situation too, and you know what? I also did not know what to do. It was really frustrating, so I really know what you're feeling right now, Miss Perry. You know what? Next time, I think the airline should really probably make sure everything's all set because it's such a hassle for you as customers, right? This is what I personally say in this kind of situation. Here's what I will do, Miss Perry. I'm going to check your hotel reservation and adjust the dates to your preferred dates. May I know which dates you prefer? So see that? Direct, concise, complete, and boom, done. That's it. Tip number 5, last but not the least, is to stay professional but still personable. Okay, you can be professional without being too stiff or being too serious or formal. You know, you can just chill and loosen up a little bit because the customer doesn't want to speak with someone who sounds like the automated system. Actually, there was this one story that one of my teammates told me before because he admitted that he really did talk like a robot or he was kind of robotic. So when he opened the call, the customer asked him, "Is this the automated system?" And so my teammate actually got pretty mad and upset because the customer thought that he was the automated system because of the way he talked. It was very monotonous and it was so robotic. Probably he sounded like this. "Thank you for calling ABC Company. My name is X. How can I help you today?" But even automated systems are even friendlier than that, or sound even friendlier than that. So you can do better. Just stay professional and make the customer feel that you are there to help. Like you are a friend, but still you are taking the customer's concern seriously. And remember to smile all the time. I always say this because your customers might not see that you are smiling, but your customers will hear it from your voice. Your customers will hear it if you are frowning or if you are not having a good day. So this is like the combination of all the tips that I have mentioned. Don't be too feeling close, like what I mentioned earlier. You have to also consider the distance between you and the customer, that you have a professional relationship. And I say this a lot, but please and thank you can go a long way, can really go a long way. So in short, just be kind and don't be rude even though your customer is a difficult customer, because you never know, that customer might just be having a bad day. Pretty much just like how you are in some days of your life. Welcome to Yes Ninja. My name is Tinkerbell and I'm happy to help. May I have your name?
Katy Perry.
Hi, Miss Perry. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm a little frustrated.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let me help you. How can I assist you with your concerns today?
I'm calling because my flight got canceled earlier, so I'm just letting you know that I'm unable to check into your hotel today.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to hear that your flight got canceled. Rest assured that I'll take care of your booking concerns right away. Just give me 2 to 3 minutes to process it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't want to call you for this. I tried adjusting my bookings online, but it seems like it's not working.
Oh yes, I do apologize for that. As of the moment, our website is undergoing maintenance, so we can serve you better. But don't worry though, I'll be here to resolve your concerns right away. I just need to write a couple of things for documentation here. May I know why your flight was canceled?
First, it was announced that the weather was not good, but then after that, they said the aircraft we're supposed to use needed maintenance.
Oh, I understand that. Thank you so much for your explanation. So, Miss Perry, are you still going to book our premiere room?
Yes.
And for what dates?
9 to 14.
Alright, so except for the dates, do you want to retain all other booking details?
Yes, please.
Great, I have already adjusted the booking dates and everything has been taken care of. Have I addressed all your concerns today?
Do you have? Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling Yes Ninja and have an awesome trip. And so that's about it for today. I hope that you have learned something from my little discussion today. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe if you haven't yet, leave comments below and I'll be glad to answer them. And don't forget, I have videos every Wednesdays and Fridays, and I'll see you on my next